Hi there, it's Gaylin. Today I'm sharing a project for My Creative Time. It is their 101st edition release, and I'm sharing some of the products that are coming out on Friday. So I have circles. One of them is pretty circle layers, and the other is pretty scalloped circles, and they're nesting dies. And the sentiment is from the stamp kit called Stay Beautiful, and so are the flowers. And so I am making a framed project using that, and I'm going to add some watercolor and also stenciling with ink blending. And so these scalloped dies are perfect for nesting and creating frames or other kinds of projects for your cards. So I have Ranger Distress Oxide ink. I'm using Canson watercolor paper. I have a My Favorite Things stencil and a makeup brush that I use for ink blending. So I decided to just add a little stencil detail along the corners of that card base, right onto the top of the card base. And so when you peel that away, you have that pattern left over. It's just a perfect backdrop for these scalloped frames that I'm going to use. And so I pre-die cut those out, and the top layer is on watercolor paper, and I'm stamping the flowers right onto watercolor paper. It's easier to stamp right onto the smooth side of watercolor paper. And so I did the same. I stamped the sentiment right onto that top scallop panel, and Ranger Archival ink, which is a waterproof ink since I'm using watercolor. You can use markers, but just make sure that your ink is compatible with the color medium that you're going to use. Like if you're using Copic, make sure it's Copic friendly ink, and so on. So for this sentiment panel, all I wanted was a very, very light shade of pink and blue behind the sentiment, and I let that run together a little and set aside to dry. And then on to the flowers. On the first flower, I added sort of the darker shade along the creases of the flower of blue. Now, then you blend that out a little with water on the brush, but not all the way to the end, because on the end, on the petals, I'm going to add a little pink. And then just as a highlight, more of a variegated look for this flower, or both of these flowers. And so once you do that, you come in with another brush layer, blending those two together slightly, just so that the colors blend. You can use this with any colors, any two colors that you like. Two is a good way to start. If you're going to try this method, you can just keep the flower solid if you like. I just wanted a variegated look for this. So on the second flower, it's not going to be perfect because watercolor is never perfect and the same twice. So it's just a little bit of a different flower. I started with the pink this time on the petals, and then I came in with the blue for the creases on the inside of the flower areas. And so I do the same. I add both shades, and then I come in with a wet brush and sort of blend those two colors together where they meet. You can dry this and add more layers if you like. I decided to just keep it all wet and just use one pass with it. I do go in, I think I go in at the end and add a little more of the pink and the teal, just a hair, just a little bit. And you can also remove color while it's still wet by taking a damp brush and move it over the area that you want to remove color from. And yeah, you can remove it, but if it's dry, you can't remove the color. And so I heat set both of those, and I just added a little water to blend that middle section just a little bit. And then with the die, I die cut those flowers, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to layer everything. I used flat double-sided tape for the teal layer, and I used foam tape for that top scallop panel and also for the flowers. And to finish, I just added a few adhesive gems to finish the card. And there you go. I hope you like it. Thanks so much for watching, and take a moment to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a great day.